Welcome to the Spit Bucket. How tough are you?
Thanks for joining us.
Hey, before I actually start recording, you know how when you go to PetSmart and they have like bowls of water out?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Are those for like anyone? Can anyone drink from those?
I'm pretty sure those are just for the fish.
All right, welcome to the Spit Bucket, everyone. My name's Omar, and joining me at the table this week, the Sabomi to my Shigeo, it is Jam Ginto.
Oh, that's so sweet. Actually, that is so sweet, but they're not together yet, so.
Neither are we.
True. Hey, what up, boys? That offer for nudes in exchange of gibbets still stands.
What kind of gibbets do you want?
All of them.
If I send you gibbets of like basketballs,
Fuck that.
you said gibbets.
I have an Amazon wish list.
Jam is slowly becoming more and more of an internet thotty with every episode.
Look, I don't know what you want me to say. I know I can make money on the internet, but you refuse to let me thrive.
I don't want you to make more money than me, that's why. All right, and also with me at the table, the Shaquille O'Neal of the Spit Bucket, Talon Mendoza.
Hi.
Do you have your own brand at Kmart?
No. Who was? No, actually, it wasn't you guys. Sam has these and one like slippers, like for house
shit.
shoes, and man, everyone always roasts him like, man, why are you wearing Shaqs? And
Oh,
he gets mad. He's like, they're not Shaqs, they're and ones.
Boy, I used to have those in elementary school. Catch me on the jungle gym with my and ones. I didn't know that those were his. Doesn't he have his own Shaqs too? Where instead of like the dunking Jordan, it's him with his dunk where he just like holds onto the rim and lifts his legs like he's taking a
I don't know
big
too
poo-poo.
much.
I know that logo. That's the one I'm thinking about, yeah.
I used to have those too, but I think those were from Payless.
Oh, I don't talk to poor people.
I've always had copious amounts of this swag.
Remember when that car drove through the Payless here in Waukegan? Actually, both Paylesses.
I mean, if you're a Payless, you're asking for it.
True.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like vaguely remember hearing something about that, but the Payless that I'm thinking about is you have to get over some steps just to get through the front door.
Yeah, and also...
Yeah, remember when La Michoacana was a Payless?
What?
There's a couple that. Which
La
one?
Michoacana, that's by right across from Hillary's. That
This
used to be
is
a
so
Payless.
relatable to people who don't know where we're from.
Are you serious?
That used to be a Payless like a million years
I
ago.
thought that was like a Long John Silver's or something like that.
No, that was next to it.
That turned into Carl's Jr.
And then that
didn't work out well.
You know, allegedly, the businesses don't thrive there because it's haunted. It's cursed.
It's
Probably because Hillary's burned down like 7 separate times.
But that's across the street. Isn't that good luck? Don't they say like
Well, ghosts
if
can-
Hillary's is on fire, it's good luck, just like rain on a wedding day? Or am I the only one who thinks that?
Y'all ever wake up in the morning, go get your Sunday paper, and y'all smell Hillary's burning from your house? Yeah, it's just us 3 boys today.
It's just the boys today. No girls allowed
None
on
of
this podcast.
None of them.
What we normally do in the Spit Bucket is we find some outlandish news stories from around the world. Where do you guys want to fly to right now? Do you guys want to go to New York, or you guys feel like flying to Argentina first?
Let's go to Argentina.
All right.
You want to go to Argentina?
It's warm.
All
Did I
right.
put on my headphones for this?
Here we go.
You didn't tell me to or not, so I didn't.
Yeah, go ahead and put your headphones on because we're flying to Argentina. All right,
Oh, wait, are we there? Are we there now?
we're there now.
Okay.
Cool.
That was fast.
Nice.
All right, so I got a story that it kind of confused me to begin with, but let's fucking get into it. All right, so before we start this story, I got a few questions to ask you guys. All right, number one, how do you guys feel about that one song about a Barbie girl living in, a Barbie world?
Love it. Okay. Here's some shit. I used to be obsessed. Someone did a Sonic X music video
That's already nasty.
to the Barbie Girl theme song, and I used to watch that like a million times a day. Why? I don't know. I just did.
That was the early days of YouTube.
Hell yeah.
Things were so simple back
An
then.
AMV. Hell yeah.
That holds a fond place in your heart.
Absolutely.
All right, now, how do you guys feel about Nazis?
I mean, I haven't seen Jojo Rabbit yet, so I can't really. I can't give you a straight answer.
You haven't made up your mind just yet?
Yeah.
All right, so an Argentinian school reportedly fires teacher after Nazi Barbie Girl homework clip goes viral. Now, think about that. Think about that mess.
Well, didn't they all flee to Argentina?
Yeah, Argentina and Brazil. So there's a bunch of Nazis living
Yeah.
over
They got
there.
there on their Bell spaceship.
But, one of the things that was fucked up, Nazis would, quote-unquote, convert to being Catholics, and priests would baptize them under different names. so then they can get passports and go into like South America or whatever and not be caught because they used their new real name that wasn't attached to
Man,
their
fuck
Nazis.
the church.
All right, so here's the story. Students at a secondary school, which I'm assuming is a high school, in the Argentinian city of San Juan recently received an unusual homework assignment from their history teacher, which they almost flawlessly completed, receiving a 9 out of 10 for their work. They had no idea, however, that their quote-unquote funny historic interpretation would have some serious consequences. Have you guys ever had like a strange homework assignment that
No, but
you
I
guys were
had
dealt?
teachers who didn't know how to mind their own fucking business.
Oh yeah? How so?
Calling my emergency contacts because I didn't turn in a homework assignment. So he called my aunt saying like, hey, she's missing this, and my aunt, speaking Spanish, was like, what? Like, who the fuck is this?
She said, who's it?
This is at like 6 p.m. And then like,
First of all, why weren't you doing your homework?
fuck school, am I right, boys?
Why do school when
Fuck
you
it.
could sell nudes for gibbets?
Absolutely.
I had that same mentality all the way up until senior year, and I'm like, oh, I should probably get my shit together, otherwise I'm not going to graduate.
A group of teenagers made a clip mocking so this is a website that was translated, so that's why some of the stuff is kind of funky.
Yeah,
Right.
okay, Mr. I can't weed or write or weed.
I'm gonna edit this shit out. So a group of teenagers made a clip mocking, they allegedly thought, gruesome crimes against humanity, particularly Adolf Hitler and the notorious atrocities of the Nazi regime. There's a lot of air quotes in this. The students creatively approached their assignment by using the melody of the once popular song Barbie Girl, but changing the lyrics and dressing in Halloween-style Nazi costumes to a video, which then they posted to their social media. And it kind of blew up in Argentina.
So they were doing like a choreographed dance in Nazi uniforms to Barbie Girl?
But also they changed the lyrics.
Oh.
So before we jump any further in the story, you guys want to hear this shit?
Of it.
All right. So
Is
here we
it
go.
is it subbed?
It is subbed, but they did it in English.
Oh.
So it's Spanish-speaking people who did is this a cover? What do you call this?
How did this happen?
So, in English, which is not their first language, and you can tell. So here it is. We don't have to watch all of it, but here it is. This is Nazi Barbie Girl.
Do you wanna go for a ride?
Sure, Adolf.
Jump in.
Oh, wow.
He said that champion.
In a Nazi world, daylight ghettos, it's fantastic. You must behave or you are gonna die. Imagination, you are in our nation.
Come on, Jews, let's go camps.
I'm a Nazi
Wow,
girl.
they have the Hitler mustaches and everything.
Like by Aryans, it's fantastic. You can be disabled.
They're really off time, too.
Homosexual. Imagination, this is anti-Semitic. I'm a black bingo juice in a horror world.
Okay, I think I've had enough of this. I think I've had enough of this.
You're my doll, rock and roll, feel the power in camp. Follow me, obey me, hanky panky.
That's Hitler, by the way. So we'll stop it there. That last guy was the Hitler character. I'm not playing it too loud, like for the distortion. That's how it's actually recorded.
Oh, man.
And that was the assignment that they got a 9 out of 10 on. Because they got a 9 out of 10, and that this was even an assignment, their teacher was the one who got fired.
Wow.
I actually don't know what to say about that.
Yeah,
That's just
Argentina's
so-
nuts. I never thought we'd have a story out of Argentina. They always looked like they were just chilling, being good at soccer. But yeah, this is the shit that goes on in there.
Wow.
So, I'm a Nazi girl in a Nazi world, sings the female student, along with a young man in the video. The clip, which has sparked some outcry in the local community, also contains Nazi symbols and shows the singing Nazis humiliating actors who are representing the Jews and the homosexuals. It created a big controversy over there, especially because Nazis fled to Argentina.
Yikes.
So, people are definitely not okay with this.
I'll tell you what, I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I don't think anyone is. I think the only people who think they did a good job was them and the teacher. I don't even know what the actual assignment is, because they said that they took a lot of creative liberties with what they turned in. They never go into what the assignment actually was. They just said that they did theirs, in quotes, creatively. The school apologized in a statement that was issued on Saturday to a very specific Jewish organization that's based out of there. They apologized, and the teacher was then fired. And that's it. That's the whole story. It's just been
Wait, so are they making fun of the actual Nazis, or they're making fun of what the Nazis did?
from the video.
Because
I can't.
Yeah, I'm curious
That's
as to
the
what
thing,
the
'cause
teacher,
I'm
like,
wondering what
whose
they're
side is the teacher
apologizing
on?
Fuck if I know.
Come on, Omar.
This is literally the whole article. Like you were talking about Jojo Rabbit. I
Yeah.
want to see that movie, but it's satire, also making fun of the Nazis, not like belittling what they did.
Yeah.
Where this kind of seems like they're
Trying to make them cute.
yes,
And
because-
Nazis ain't cute.
Yeah, they're going for a ride with Hitler in his car. Is like the beginning scene.
And they're like chilling at the pool in the next one.
Yeah,
Wow.
And they're pushing the guy who said he was a Jew
into a pool.
into a pool.
Yeah, so
I don't like that.
I don't know what they were going for. I don't know what side they're trying to play it, but yeah, it made everyone mad, as it should. And that's the viral clips of Argentina. Also, the thing that on top of it being a horrible thing that they did, the music was horrible. The singing was bad, and it was off time. So on top of everything, it was very cringy, even if it had nothing to do with what it was. But yeah, that's that story. So then I got another very short one for us. All right, so this other clip that I got for us. Here's it comes with just a very, very short article. So, woman, 82, confronts a young burglar and breaks a table on his head and starts shampooing him.
I like that.
Do you?
Y'all ever been shampooed? That shit feels good.
Whenever I go to get my hair cut and they take me to get shampooed, my neck is always twisted so far back, and then the lights are right in my eyes, so I feel like I do the Undertaker eyes.
I think that might be because you're too tall. But you see, in my experience, when I go get shampooed, my butt always ends up like part of the way up where your back is supposed to land because I can't reach the sink. So it's pretty comfortable for me, but I'm kind of supporting myself with my arms to push myself up.
I've never had a good experience with shampooing. I always feel like I look stupid. Have you ever gone somewhere where they shampoo your head?
When I went to go get my haircut, I think it was like at Sports Clips. I don't really remember.
Doesn't Sports Clips do that thing where they wrap a towel on your face?
Yeah, they give you like the hot towel. It feels really nice. And I do need a haircut, so actually I might go there.
Right after this. I'll cut your hair.
Maybe tomorrow. You know how to
Yeah, I'll cut your hair.
No.
I cut Mabel's hair.
Okay.
I mean, it'll be a little patchy, but fashion.
We could do what we did to Mabel to you, where we just laid you down and just cut your hair and Omar's feeding you treats while I'm just talking nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, that sounds great.
Well, and we'll even cut your butthole hair because that's what we have.
We have to do that
That's
to
part of the service that we offer to
Okay,
Mabel.
Cool.
So speaking of, I don't know how to cut hair back there. Anyway,
I'll get you that Manscaped razor.
does it work? Does it work on butts?
It's supposed to just be not cut skin, so you could just go in there blindly.
I want to just
have
stop.
at it.
The thing is, from my waist up, I'm not hairy, but from my waist down, I have just hairy legs, So I feel like trimming anything,
Yeah, it's some nice butt hair, I will say that.
I can't trim it all the way because then it would look stupid with everything else being. You know what I mean?
if you have a smooth patch and then the rest of it just goes straight down to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So that's my issue. Now you guys know my issues and what I'm self-conscious about. So that's why I just let it grow as long as it's possible. All right.
Oh my
so
God.
let's jump into this woman. Well, actually,
All right.
my bad. So in Rochester, an 82-year-old female bodybuilder named Willie Murphy was attacked in her own home.
Well, the whole lady bodybuilder. Mm-hmm. Sick. Nice.
And 82.
Nice.
She was attacked by a young man who broke into her home until she turned the tables on the intruder. Guys, do you see what they did?
Yeah.
Do you guys see what they did?
It's like that. There's an article in the newspaper that I just brought in this morning saying TikTok wreck pot legal in a month. Love that. I love journalism.
I cannot wait.
She boy gone. You see.
She
it's-
boy gone.
That's a throwback to the first episode we did, just us three. So it was dark in her home, so she decided to hide and then attack as soon as possible. I picked up the table. I went to work on him. The table broke.
I love
She said
that.
it smells like broke in here.
Damn.
When he's down, I'm jumping on him. I grab the shampoo. Guess what? He's still on the ground. His face, all of it, the whole thing. If that doesn't make sense, let's hear it from her own words.
I just took the headphones off. I'm just going to sit here and react to you guys listening to it.
Willie Murphy is actually kind of like a little bit of a local celebrity because she is an 82-year-old bodybuilder.
She's no bagel boss guy, I tell you what.
Dude, she can wipe the floor with a bagel
Dude,
boss.
she could wipe her ass with bagel boss.
Yeah, definitely. Wasn't he supposed to fight some guy? I haven't seen anything about that.
He's supposed to fight that
Antoine
kids.
Dotson.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shout
the
out
Hide
to
Yo
him.
Kids guy. This same news organization did a story about her in the past of just who she is. So people already knew who Willie Murphy was.
I wish I was that cool where the news just like hits me up like, hey, you're cool.
Right?
Tell me about yourself.
All right, so here, I'm just going to do like a few seconds of just so people know who the fuck this guy messing with before we do that.
Ooh, she bad.
Willie Murphy is 81 years old, stands 5 feet tall, and
She's as tall
weighs
as you.
105 pounds. But Murphy is not your average senior citizen. This retired social worker and grandmother from Rochester, New York, took up powerlifting 7 years ago.
She's stronger than
She
all of
wants
us.
to stay healthy and enjoy life.
I don't want to be 6 feet under. It makes me be independent. When it
She's
snows
81.
in
Good for her,
Rochester,
dude.
She's 82 now, yeah.
when it
Holy
snows,
shit.
me shoveling.
She
So then
looks
she's like just doing reps.
One.
Even some of the young guys at the gym have a hard time keeping up.
She's like stretching.
I've seen white guys at like age 40 who look terrible in her comparison.
I'm not going to say who it is, but there's this one person that I know.
Oh my god, you had a mental breakdown because of that.
I did. They've been dating for like a while now, you know? And I just thought she was dating some older dude because she's only like very, very, very early 20s. So I just thought she was dating like
But when he showed me the picture, he asked me how old do I think both of these people are. I thought she was like 28.
and then I thought she was dating like a 35 to 40-year-old. I'm like, okay, good for her. She's just, you know, doing her thing, dating someone twice her age. And then like a week ago, I see a post. It said, happy 22nd birthday.
Oh, man.
Dude was like, he was balding, like hard fucking
But his
core.
face too just looked like an older man.
Yeah.
So sad.
And I'm worried,
So
and it made me worried about going bald. But anyway, she's like flexing and shit. So that's Willie Murphy. And this is her going through her break-in story.
Man is in my home, broke the door. And you know what? It's kind of semi-dark, and I'm alone, and I'm old. But guess what? I'm tough.
Ooh, look at that
What
bicep.
happens? He picked the wrong house to break into.
Hell yeah, he did.
I took that table, and I went to working on him. And guess what? The table broke. And it had metal legs, and I'm jugging him.
Jugging him.
And when he's down, I'm jumping on him. And
Is
the
anyone else
telephone
turned
is still
on?
on for 911. I'm running in the kitchen. There's a bottle of baby shampoo on the table. I grabbed the shampoo, and guess what? He's still on the ground, in his face, all of it, the whole thing. And he's trying to get up, and he's pulling. And I got the broom, and he's pulling the broom. And I'm hitting him. I'm hitting him with the broom, hitting him. And guess what?
She's so excited.
He wants to get the heck out of there.
She's
And I'm
so
trying to
excited
move
about
him
it.
out of the house. But he's too heavy. I can't move him. He's dead weight. And at that time, the police arrive on the porch. And the house is already open. So they come in. He's laying down
And they beat his ass
already.
too.
Really did a number on that man. I'm serious. Oh.
God bless.
Wow.
So that's Willie Murphy, and that was pretty much it. I just wanted that story. It's been like 3 weeks in a row where we talk about break-ins and what we would do, and I just felt like she was a true inspiration of what you do. You become an 82-year-old bodybuilder, and you good.
Man, I can never do nothing to protect myself.
Cam, how many push-ups can you do?
I'll just get a gun.
One.
What?
People like that. I've seen it on Twitter and Facebook. It's like people work their whole lives to, you know, get big and buff up, and just to get shot by a skinny dude.
You want to be the skinny
Yeah,
dude?
I'll be the skinny dude. And it's funny because me, Eric, and Stephanie were at IKEA not too long ago, and we were talking about kind of just where we would want to be at that age. And I told them, I'm like,
Yeah, like old people?
Yeah, as soon as I need help, like cleaning myself, just let me go. I want to die.
Wrap it up, he
Yeah.
said.
Honestly, yeah.
And then, like, I think I remember I said it was going to be, like, around 70. But that gives me a little bit of hope.
Yeah.
But also, I need to start eating a little better.
I'm calling it quits when you're out, Omar.
When I'm out, you're out?
Yeah.
Let's wrap this shit up. All right, that's all I got for us this week.
Damn, doggy.
All right, we'll see you guys next week. That's all. All right, what's the other story next?
Blood fills Iowa family's basement.
Do they live under a
Sangre.
slaughterhouse?
Did he guess it
Did
right?
I figure it out?
Did he guess it
I
right?
figured it out.
Man, fuck you.
Yeah. All right, my turn.
All right, Alan, you're up.
No, come on.
No,
I want
go
to hear
ahead.
it.
No.
I gotta edit that out later.
No, now I'm going to scream even louder into this mic.
Please don't.
Man, fuck you. Can we talk about Saturday night?
About what we talked about or what we did?
No, just the night itself.
Yeah, okay.
I was actually drunk. Like, drunk. I fell going up your stairs to go to the bathroom.
Oh, did you?
I fell and I landed on the top step, and then I had to use your
The shitter?
bathtub to help me stand up from the toilet.
Oh, wow.
But really, she had it backwards in her head. So she used the toilet to get up from the bathtub that she peed in.
Yeah, we pulled up to the house, and you were like, "Can I go inside and pee?" And Eric's like, "I gotta go pee too." And I'm like, "Damn, well, I have to also." But like, I was gonna let Jam go first. So while you guys went inside, I just peed outside by the bush
Of your own home.
of my own home. I mean, there wasn't any lights. The city doesn't fix our street lamps, so
And then
The city of
That's my
Zion
fault.
does not care about Alan's neighborhood.
I felt so bad for Eric because I had to like put my whole body weight on him to get out of his fucking car.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I couldn't do it. I was literally, on our drive back home, I was literally sitting in the backseat and I had to keep my eyes closed because I was dizzy. And then we come home and I pee again. I drop my phone in my own piss, and then
And the thing, okay, so I was like, I was right outside the bathroom because I was also just waiting to go. So then she opens the door. She's like, "Omar, I dropped my phone in the toilet," and then she has it in her hand and it's just dripping wet. I'm like, why are you showing me your phone? You could rinse it off.
I rinsed it off and then I washed it off. Well, I wiped it down with like a Clorox wipe.
Is it waterproof?
Yeah,
Okay.
To an extent.
to an extent. Yeah, you just gotta like leave it so that the water drains, but then it's fine.
Okay.
And then we come downstairs and my fucking fish is dead. Dude, I lost it. I was like hysterically crying.
Yeah, and I had to tell
gonna
Jim,
cry
like,
now.
hey, relax. So this episode's for Daddy.
And then
Daddy
I woke
the beta.
up at like 7 in the morning and I took a nice drunk shit and I was still feeling dizzy.
Jam has to poop so much when she drinks.
Beer.
Well, yeah, same here.
That's the only time
Because I get
she
the beer shits. That's
But Jam doesn't
worse.
poop. Like, Jam will not poop for 2-3 weeks in a row.
That's not true. A
And
week
then-
in a row.
This is for you, Daddy.
Shout out to Daddy.
I feel so bad because I'm the
R.I.P.
one who made you guys come out and drink with me. But to be fair,
No, I
My
had
own-
fun up until I got home.
oh, okay.
Yeah, then everything went wrong.
Everything, even that morning.
What did we end up doing that day, too? I wanted to stay home. Was that yesterday?
Oh my god, that was yesterday. This was 4 days that we've been off. It felt so long. That was yesterday.
I'm ready to wrap this shit up.
Damn, I'm tired, dude. Shit.
So what happened in Baltimore?
Man, I don't even fucking care anymore. What sounds like a scene from a horror film is a reality for the Listina family of Bagley, Iowa.
That sounds vaguely familiar.
Nick Listina and his family of 7 were getting ready to put their house up on the market up until their basement was flooded with animal blood. Their basement was filled with nearly 5 inches of animal blood, fat,
Holy
and
shit.
bones as a result of drainage from a meat locker next door.
And bones.
Whoa.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you get bones through a wall?
There's a video, and
What
I'll
kind of
probably just
Junji
take
Ito
a
type shit
screenshot
is
of it.
going on in their house?
But here's a picture of him standing in his blood basement.
Oh, man.
That's
got
a lot
stank.
of blood.
That's got a fucking stank, dude.
Yeah, blood's got that, like, irony. After that, you have to gut the basement and redo
Well,
it.
I mean, it doesn't look like it's finished. Like, it's just the concrete floor, so that can't be too hard to clean. But
It's going to take a lot of Coca-Cola. Isn't that what people used to clean up blood?
hell yeah.
So if you murder someone in your house, just have some Coke ready. Fago will not work.
Hydrogen peroxide also gets rid of blood stains, too, on clothes. Just an FYI. For the last 10 years, the family has lived next to Doll's Meat Locker, but have never had any problems until recently.
Until as soon as they wanted to sell their house.
Exactly. It's like, as soon as
As soon as we wanted to sell our house, we got possums in the garage
Yeah,
that we
dude.
had to take care of.
As in Omar's dad with a hammer to the garbage bag that the possum was in. Lacina's neighbors had...
It's okay, Alan. We recycled it.
Lacina said his neighbors were dumping a hog and cattle remains down a floor drain, which is connected to his pipes. He immediately reported
Damn.
to the Iowa Department of Natural Resources, which confirmed the substance as animal blood, fat, and bones. They got the Department of Health involved due to its hazards. What kind of fuck-ass neighbors you got?
Yeah.
That are...
They have a meat locker where the pipes go directly into your pipes.
Damn.
I remember, because where I'm from in Mexico, it's just like this little town in Guanajuato. It's called Santo Tomas Huatzineo, Sinaloa. I'm just kidding. It's in Guanajuato. I lived there for a year as a kid, and one of the things that I would always see across the building that makes the tortillas that we would go to like every morning, across it is the slaughterhouse. But, you know, being Mexico, there's no drainage or, what is it called on the street? Gutters? There's no gutters. Is that the right word?
It's a drainage system.
Like a sewage drain? Yeah.
Yeah, so there's none of that shit going on. None of that white people shit. Every morning they would slaughter at the slaughterhouse because, you know, that's what they do. That's what they be doing. When you would buy your tortillas, you would have to hop over the river of blood that would just kind of be streaming on the street.
That's fun. They haven't reached out at all. In fact, they haven't taken any accountability for it, said Listina. They say it's not their fault and told me, good luck if I want to do anything about it. It's on my dime and my schedule.
What a bunch of shitty ass.
Damn. I'm about to put someone else through the slaughterhouse if my basement gets flooded with blood.
Let me see. But the owners of Doll's Custom Meat Locker contacted the media to say that they're working with their insurance company to take care of reimbursing the Listina family. So at least
for the whole house or the basement?
I think just the basement. But that's some shit. The neighbors who caused all of this are saying, nah, it ain't on us.
Right? The thing, too, that sucks is if they still try to sell their house is on the news now. So, like, we're not going to buy the blood basement house.
It ends with this. Many of the Listina family's belongings were destroyed by the blood in the basement, including a bed they were saving for their toddler son. And it's a fucking race car bed. You can see it in the picture.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, ka-chow.
You can't use that anymore.
Ka-chow. That's it.
Oh, man. That sucks. They should still use it, though.
Imagine if we wake up one morning and our basement is full of blood.
I was telling that thing about the blood stuff in Mexico. Mm-hmm. So, for some reason, because of that, because I was there when I was 4 years old and lived there for a year and would pass that like every day, slaughterhouses kind of have like a nostalgic smell to me. So, it's just like when you open, you know, a pack of Pokemon cards and you get that whiff and it reminds you of your childhood. Slaughterhouses kind of do that to me.
Honestly, that's how I feel about like car smells, like grease and like oil and just like a mechanic's workshop.
You'd play in the rainbow puddles.
Literally. Just stick my fingers in it and just see what I can like wipe on the walls. Yeah, that shit. Broken glass. Yeah. In my chanclas.
But still, I'm really bad with blood. So it's a weird situation happening in my head.
Relationship.
Yeah. So if we woke up and there was blood everywhere, I'd freaking lose it. I was reading Dracula and there was a part where they were talking about blood and I literally felt my knees getting all wobbly.
I remember I was
driving about to faint.
You were driving reading Dracula?
Listen,
no, I told Omar a story about, you know, how periods be bad and stuff. So I was telling him.
Have you heard about periods? That's just nasty, Alan.
Yeah, I just found out about those not too long ago.
I was telling him a story, and we were driving, and this boy's knee started shaking. Boy, that car was unstable.
I was because I listen to a lot of podcasts like when I'm at work, just because I'm always in my car. Mm-hmm. And there was this one episode I think on like last podcast where they're talking about like the sexual encounters of UFOs, and like some of them are a little more violent than the other, and they're talking about how they're like just shoving fucking rods down your dick hole, and I literally like I'm gripping my steering wheel in the car, and I'm just like I start getting like light, like how do you call it, lightheaded? Yeah, and like I felt like I was kind of drifting a little bit.
What's that thing when in like shooting games where like your side vision starts getting black? Yeah. that stuff was going on.
Yeah. I don't know, because blood doesn't bother me too much, but just more of somebody getting tortured and them getting into the details. That's what. And it for some reason,
just like that story that was it in China, the guy who had tweezers in his pee hole. Saudi Arabia.
Yum.
Yeah, and you started talking about the guy who put needles like in his butthole, and I'm not even kidding. I almost got up and just kind of walked around. I was like, I gotta stand up and walk around.
That one wasn't for you, Chief.
Yeah, no.
My bad. Albert Fish, look him up.
All right, was that it? Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so Russia is testing VR helmets for cows.
Hell yeah.
But for worms.
They're putting that game where you have to, it's like test your courage, where you're on top of a skyscraper and you have to walk through like a thin board.
Because I just
for cows.
But for cows.
Because just based on the headline, I'm assuming they're just playing like Final Fantasy.
They have to be.
Yeah. So
I never got into Final Fantasy, and to be honest, to this day, I have no idea what Final Fantasy is or why Mickey Mouse is in it.
That's Kingdom Hearts. Because here's the thing, like
That shows how little I know then.
I love Kingdom Hearts, but yeah, I could never get into Final Fantasy. But it's not because it wasn't a good game, because I played the original. I don't know. Okay, don't quote me on that. But I played one of the very first games that they had for the PlayStation or the PS2, whichever one came first. Anyways, there was a scene at the beginning of the game. You know how like some games you'll have to play about 20 or 30 minutes before you actually hit like the title of the game when it like kind of reveals it to you.
Yeah.
There was a part in the game where you're like in this tunnel, and I guess you're supposed to get out, and I never could. I literally spent the first 8 or 20 minutes of the game trying to get out of this one spot that literally the game starts you in, and I was like, wow, this is not for me. And
if this is any indication of how the rest of the game is, this ain't it. Chief.
Exactly. So I've never played.
Jam's been stuck on a part of a old ass game for like a week or two now.
Hamtaro, ham heartbreak. I can't figure out how to buy this child some popcorn and how to give a flower to the sailor's wife.
So if you guys can figure that shit out for her.
That's okay. I never beat Resident Evil 4 Nemesis.
Yeah, that's exactly the same as ham heartbreak.
So, as our future appears increasingly dystopian, virtual reality headsets have become more popular, allowing people to immerse themselves in everything from video games to movies, and when traveling, even to the very heart of the Milky Way. Being transported elsewhere with VR, however, is no longer the prerogative of just humans.
All right, that was funny. Wow.
No, I said that because like I know what the word is, but for some reason when I tried to say it, like it wasn't coming out of my mouth right. So cows in Russia are also trying out the experience. In a curious experiment, a farmer near Moscow has tested specially devised VR headsets that can be worn by the bovines to, quote, improve cow conditions.
I'm mad that I've never done... Have you done VR? I've never done it.
I mean, other than the ones that you can test out at, like, Best Buy, like, I've never really...
I haven't even done that.
...played a legit game, but I don't know if it was just, like, an idea that someone had, or if it was actually, like, being developed, or if it's even out, but they're doing, like, VR Mario Kart.
They have it in Japan, and we were going to do it, and we just never did. They have...
Now I need to go to Japan.
We ended up doing so many other things, and that VR Shinjuku we were pretty close to, so we could have just done it on, like, a night.
Any day we didn't do it.
We just kept going out to all these other different things, and that was the last thing on our mind. But they have one where it's like a horror hospital type of thing where you have to walk through.
No.
I want to do that. I've seen videos of like girls like literally falling backwards.
Yeah. But they have that VR Mario, but you're in a cart, so it's even more real. They also had some Evangelion ones, some Attack on Titan, and a bunch of other shit. Man, I really, really wish I could have done that.
Are we doing Japan 2021 with the Mendoza brothers?
Nice. Honestly,
let's do it.
Damn, that'd be sick.
They have McDonald's over there, right?
Yeah,
because that's what I'm going to be surviving off of.
Alan, all right, you're not going.
No, I'll try out some new foods. But
you like rice?
The only thing, I like rice. I like shrimp fried rice, and I like the little gummy candies, like the little fruit ones that we.
Oh, there's a lot of that. You could survive on that.
Yeah, I'll just survive on candy. The thing is, I remember when VR first came out, and it's like I remember looking at that. I'm like, that's cool, but I can't imagine it getting very far because there's always been some sort of virtual reality that just kind of never catches wind. But this actually, like, it's been getting a lot of traction, and what I love seeing are the videos of people actually playing it. Like there was it had to have been Resident Evil or like Horror Hospital, but there was an older dude who the family had to pin down on the floor because he started having a complete fucking panic attack.
Dude, that would be me.
He was like punching everyone and everything in the room, and they're like, Grandpa, stop.
He's having a war flashback on top of everything.
Yeah, and then there was also, I think I saw it on Twitter not too long ago, but it was someone who was doing like a helicopter simulator, and she had tipped herself over the seat, and she sounded like the fucking brother from that Nickelodeon show. What's it called? With the dad, he goes like smashing.
Naked Brothers Band?
It's like Jingleberries or something like that.
Hold on.
You know what I'm talking
I feel like I just had like a stroke.
Yeah, we walked into an alternative universe. I don't know anything that he's saying right now.
Nickelodeon family. The brother says...
He's like they're in the
Wild Thornberries.
Wild Thornberry. What the hell did I say? Dingleberries? That's what poop hangs from your butthole hairs. Let me see if I can find this real quick because it wasn't too long ago. But other than actually playing, hold on, I'm not gonna talk until I find this video. I know it's coming up.
I feel like surprisingly I'm very easily scared. Not in real life stuff, but just like cheesy Halloweeny, like not necessarily like people dressed up, but just the anticipation.
So she's on a helicopter simulator. So like she's got like her hands on the controls and like the VR helmet. She was literally gonna break her neck falling out of this chair.
I scare myself more than things actually scare me. So when we go to haunted houses, I'm always like, I scare myself going into it, but once I'm there, like, I'm fine. But with VR horror type stuff, I feel like whatever I'm scared of, I'm going to be scared going in, and then I'll actually be scared there. And I don't think I'm ready for that.
Yeah,
Does that make
at
sense?
haunted houses, you can easily pin all the fear on me because you know they're coming after me and they'll leave you alone.
But I see them and I'm not scared. I get more scared, even with like scary movies. Scary movies don't end up scaring me, but I'm scared going into them because of whatever I think in my head is scarier than what actually happens.
I recently started really getting into scary movies, but growing up, you know, everyone always wanted to go see the newest like scary movie that came out. What I would do is I would literally watch the entire movie with headphones on, like listening to music.
Oh, yeah.
It's like still paying attention to the movie because the jump scares, like it was too much. Like my heart felt like it was gonna.
I don't like jump scares.
I love
Those are
a
cheap.
jump scare. I love anything that's gonna get my blood.
Because I remember the reason why I started wearing headphones is when I went to go see Strangers, and it's like when the dude.
Okay.
Started banging on the door.
All right, Strangers is probably to this day the movie that scares me the most.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it.
Traumatized after seeing them. I saw them. What the fuck was my sister thinking taking me to that movie?
How old were you when it came out?
I was
10.
Maybe. No, I was pretty young. I was in middle school, I think. Maybe like 6th grade. I was scared.
They had some messed up stuff in that movie, but I don't think they didn't have too many actual like jump scares, but I think just they boosted the volume way more than it had to have been when they started like banging on the door.
Right, and it's that whole like they're in your house and you know you're by yourself.
Yeah,
Isn't
exactly.
Dennis in that movie?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Playing Dennis.
I remember coming home and it was like, you know, late and I was able to see the reflection of the moon off of like, you know, those tube TVs. Like my window panel was open just a little bit and I saw just in the corner that like just white. And I immediately connected it to the mask in that movie. I literally like screamed and I slept with my mom that night.
Really?
Yeah. I was scared.
Damn.
Oh my god. And then the night after I went, or the night of that I went to go see, I think it was like the second paranormal movie. I was in, you know, my haunted house and there was a scene where the blanket was lifting off of the child and I was sleeping next to my sister because, you know, I was scared. And I swear I felt my blanket start getting pulled downwards.
Well, didn't you actually live in a haunted house though?
Yeah.
So that didn't help. Why would you watch Paranormal Activity in an actual
Because I
haunted
love
house?
being scared.
No, I used to really hate being scared. The two movies that really traumatized me as a kid was Terminator, but that was because every time I fell asleep in my room, when I would hear a car pass by in the street, I'd be like, oh my god, that's probably one of the robots coming back in time to find me and kill me. Because there's that scene where like one of the future robots, whatever, like knocks on the door at some kid's like high school party. He's like, hey, are you, I'm looking for this kid and this kid. He's like, oh, that's me. And she just fucking kills him right there.
And that's what you were worried would happen to you?
I was
They were
afraid
gonna
that-
like, I'm looking for Alan and Eric. Oh my god, that's me and my
Yeah.
brother.
And, but that was more of just because like at the time I had a fear of dying. Like that's when I really kind of figured out what death was. I wouldn't call it a scary movie, but you know Signs with Mel Gibson, the alien movie?
Yeah.
There's one scene where they're like watching the news and she's like, warning, this might be disturbing to some viewers. And it's like some kid in Argentina, like a little kid's party, and then the alien just kind of walks by. I remember watching that at the very top of my stairs in my basement. Like the very final step. And it was like bright as hell outside, but the basement was dark and my parents were downstairs watching it. I jumped so hard. And I ran out into my front yard and I had nightmares for about 2 years.
What? For 2 years?
Yeah.
Is that the one where, what's the one where it was like an owl and it was also an alien movie? What was that one?
An owl.
I have no
Fuck.
idea.
'Cause
Someone
owls-
listening to this knows.
Yeah, because owls,
The whole
they tend
premise-
to be connected to aliens.
It was like a white owl that kept like watching
Harry
this family.
Potter?
Probably.
Fuck up. And every time that owl would show up on the tree, whoever the protagonist was ended up getting abducted that night. And something
Oh,
like that.
okay.
I was terrified because I would always hear, like I used to like be lulled to sleep because there was an owl in our pear tree. And then I heard that fucking owl and I said, no!
Because we got owls at the cemetery, and the first couple nights I'm like, hey, you know, that's really peaceful. You know, it's like a full moon. Like,
Right.
the owls are like out doing what they do.
They're out hooting.
But they're hooting. And, yeah, but there was one night where this owl, man, he was hooting. I'm talking about for like 4 straight hours, and I was getting mad. I was like, I don't have anything that I can, because I was at the point where I'm like, I'm gonna go out there and try and scare him, and then probably end up getting attacked or abducted. But yeah,
Probably
Maybe that's
could've
what was
just
trying to
got
happen.
in your car and just laid on the horn for a little bit. Probably would have scared him off.
And I probably would have pissed off all my neighbors too.
Yeah.
Man, but you would have been able to sleep.
But everyone else would have been awake.
But it's kind of shit because the way I sleep, if I focus too much on one little thing, my mind will focus too much on it. And
Yeah.
I recommend something.
Have you ever seen a hoodie in your room that became a person the longer you stared at it?
Shit. Well, I started doing this a while ago, and then I didn't want to get Omar into it because I thought he'd think it like was weird or whatever. But I listened to scary stories before I fall asleep.
I watch scary movies now.
So it's this guy called Let's Read on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
He does narrations of the Let's Not Meet on Reddit.
Mm-hmm.
So he just reads out like people's allegedly true horror stories, and that shit A1.
1 or 2 stories, you're knocked out.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're too scary,
Because he
and you
has
stay awake.
he has such a good voice where he's just reading to you, and you focus in the story, and sometimes you get a little too scared. Sometimes I have to turn it off. I'm like, all right, time to actually go to sleep. But most of the time, I'm just like, okay, they're in the woods. All right, and then I'm asleep.
Didn't we hear from Mario that Nelly listens to our show as she falls asleep? I don't know, Nelly, how you can fall asleep to my horrible cackling.
No,
I like your laugh.
Now I just fall asleep with the TV on and just playing. I don't know anything really, just because.
Do you fall asleep with the TV on, and then you have yours part of the bed, and then you just have like stuff on the?
Because I'll have my.
That used to be me when I was pretty depressed.
My one pillow, my big fluffy blanket, and then I have like 2 other blankets and 4 other pillows on my bed, and I cuddle everything.
That stuffed animal that
Omar,
we
let's
got
go
from Round
cuddle
1.
Alan. Let's just go hold him till he falls asleep.
We're gonna get Alan a nice body pillow. Who do you want again?
What did I say was in my top 3?
I don't know. You said Mountain Lady was your 3rd.
Yeah, so Neji Ray, then Bubble Girl, and then Mountain Lady. Toga, I don't know. I'll say she's 4, but she definitely got knocked out. But it's more of not because I'm scared or like I don't like being in the dark. It's just that if I sit in a dark room trying to sleep, I'll get lost in my mind for hours, and that used to be a big problem in high school. I'd have like not a strict bedtime, but like I would be all right. It's like 9:30, 10 o'clock. I should probably get ready for bed. I'd lay in bed for like 4 or 5 hours before I fell asleep, just because I couldn't.
Really?
Stop thinking.
That much?
Too.
Every single night for about 3 years.
I remember once on a school night, I literally just got in bed and I turned everything off, and I could like hear like my mom start getting ready for work. And this bitch got up at like 4 a.m. I'm like, shit. And then the street lights turned off, and then the sun started rising, and it was getting brighter out. I'm like, fuck.
It was when I was working my hotel AV job where my sleep schedule just completely fucked because all my hours were just different every single day. So I never had a time where I'm like, for sure I'll be asleep by this point and I can wake up by this point. It was always just different. So that's when my sleep schedule was the worst. And there's been times where I would work late at night, come home late, and then like when you get home late, you can't just go to sleep right away. So then I'd be up for just like a little bit, but I'd be in bed because I knew I had to wake up in like literally 6 hours. And because I knew I only had 6 hours of sleep, that was enough in my mind to keep me up and thinking like, this is not going to be enough. And then another hour passes, you're like, yeah, this is definitely not going to be enough sleep. Then another hour passes by, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I can't go to sleep.
Gotcha.
So then I would just get mad at myself for not being asleep, and that would keep me up.
Because there's times where like you hit a certain time of the night and you're like, oh shit, now I have to stay up because if I fall asleep now, I'm not going to get up.
Yeah, dude.
No, I haven't
That
done
shit
that.
sucks.
And the thing with me, I'm one of those people who is really bad, and I need like 9 to 12 hours of sleep a day.
Oh man,
I don't know how I did it in high school where I could function off of 4 hours.
I can't do that. I want to die for like 2 days after if I only sleep for 4 hours one
But
day.
then I would come home, take a nap, and sleep for so long that I think I missed the bus the next morning.
I'm a sleepy boy.
And I called my mom crying, telling her I missed the bus, but it was daylight savings and it was 8 p.m.
And Saturday.
And she's at a Western Union and has me on speaker with all her friends.
Is there more to this cow story?
Yeah, well, it's a pretty big article, but basically they just say the idea is based on studies that show that happier cows produce more nutritious milk. Dairy farmers worldwide have developed a variety of approaches that achieve that, from playing classical music in the stables to hiring chiropractors to give the cows massages.
Damn.
Isn't that how they make Wagyu beef? They give them like bomb-ass lives, and then they get nice and chunk.
Oh, yeah. So that makes their
Did you guys try
more
it?
relaxed.
Was it good?
I tried Kobe beef, which is a type of Wagyu, I believe.
That shit was $12 for like 2 pieces of meat
Yeah, and it was like it was 2 or 3 bite-sized pieces of meat
on a skewer.
And it was $12. So me and Ivan spent $24 on a very quick bite of Kobe beef.
But was it good?
Yeah, it was good. It was very buttery, but it was like naturally buttery because of like the fat just melting on it.
I tried it, but I can't do if I bite into something and it still has blood.
Because when you get cuts of that kind of meat, it kind of wastes it if you just
Cook it all the way.
overcook it. Yeah.
I know. That's why I can't go out to like fancy restaurants because then I'm like, I can't do this.
I get it. I'm okay with a little bit of pink though.
Yeah, I like my steaks practically burnt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, making it ideal for cows wasn't easy. First of all, there was the challenge of the cows' headsets. The eyes are on the side of their heads, which gives them 300-degree vision, but limits their binocular vision to just 25 to 50 degrees.
Have you guys ever seen Arthur wear headphones?
Yeah.
That boy a dummy. So I'm assuming they had the same issues.
Pretty much. They're also quite particular when it comes to colors, so the simulation was created to match their sensitivities. Cows can distinguish most colors and are especially good at recognizing shades on the red end of the spectrum. Which is kind of funny because, a slaughterhouse is... I'm assuming it's generally red.
So they can see all the different types of blood better than we can.
Yikes.
Damn.
So, taking all this into consideration, the developers created a unique summer field simulation which evidently pleased the cows. During the first test, which was carried out at the Rusmoloko farm in Ramsky district of Moscow, according to the Moscow's Ministry of Agricultural and Food experts.
I love that there's a lot of problems in Russia, like gay rights, but this is the problem that they're tackling. VR for cows.
Well, hey, better burgers, I'm sure makes for better people.
Makes for heterosexual people.
What?
So the test is still ongoing, and researchers are hoping a comprehensive long-term study will show clear results of the effect of VR on milk production, both in quantity and quality. No word yet on if the cows will be able to choose their own VR experiences in the future.
I like that. I think I've talked about this before, where I did this job for the Lincoln Park Zoo, and they were talking about they were having tablets to give to like the great apes, so then they could choose their meals, and they could also choose their caretaker. It was just like it was like pictures of the different caretakers, and they would click on the person that they would want to come like help them out.
That's precious.
That's what they're doing now. But could you imagine your life you dedicate to like learning about zoology, and you specialize in like great apes, and they just don't like you? The chimpanzees don't like you.
There's gotta be like 2 or 3 caretakers on staff, but you're always getting like the day off.
Or imagine like the one they keep asking for one person, and that person's not there for the day. Mm-hmm. How do you tell them, like, oh, they're not here?
Well, you just don't put them in the options.
No, you gotta do it. You gotta let those monkeys freak out, boy.
Because originally, they didn't know even if they would recognize that pictures of stuff equals the stuff. Mm-hmm. So originally, they were training them by, man, I should fucking just get a zoology degree.
Honestly, because
dope.
I've been wanting to do that for a little bit now. It's kind of one of my dreams, I guess. What's your dream job?
Dude,
anything.
My dream job would be to do like sound design for TV or movies. And I got a degree where I could do that. And guess what? I live in a place where they don't do that.
What about you?
Animation.
But
that's something I could never make money off of, if I'm being honest. Because you either make it...
Well, just support yourself off of the Gibbet picture exchange, and then just kind of do that.
Pay rent and Gibbets.
Okay, so what do you do when you have a man that's holding you back?
I'm just not going to say anything. I don't know. I feel like my dream job would be working at a zoo, like...
That'd be fun.
Like working with sea otters or penguins.
That'd be fun.
Man, and either that or a more, I guess, what's the right way to say it? Something that's a little more...
Fulfilling?
No, and more of like unrealistic. I've always wanted to be a mad scientist. So what I mean by that is either doing like underground surgeries.
That's your dream?
So underground surgeries. So like I'd be working with, because here's
doing
the thing.
Butt injections?
I wouldn't say that. More of just like organ transplants. Like
oh yeah.
But
why underground though?
Because I feel like there's people who really need stuff like that, and I would just be kind of like the mad scientist Robin Hood, where I'm like, I don't ask
steal livers from the rich.
Yeah, I don't ask questions on where you get the organs, but if you come to me with one and you say like, hey, I'm gonna die unless I get the surgery and I can't afford it, I'm like, I got you. And,
yeah,
and like I'd be helping my
that's
people.
Pretty cool, dog.
Either that, or also I'd love to be a mad scientist working for the army, so I can kind of work with like the UFOs and all the
oh, you want to go into there? You want to be what's the guy? Bill something? There's like the documentary of him.
Dautrive?
Yeah.
Yes, Bill Dautrive. Exactly. So like,
There's a good Netflix documentary.
Okay. So I don't know. For some reason, I've always thought that'd be cool. I have a lot of problems with like the ethics of like the military, but just being able to see something, because this is like my sci-fi. Like,
You just want the classified shit.
Exactly. Like I wanna be able to see something with my own eyes that I know like people will never.
Do you
ever
think
get to
your
see.
mind can handle, though, seeing a body of an alien?
I think I'd be a little surprised at first, but I think it's something that I've always wanted for like the longest. So.
Like when you showed us okay, so it's like a series of this like Russian scientist type of guy who's injecting his own sperm into chicken eggs
in his apartment.
In Russia. And it's
weirdest
like these like
recipe channel I've ever seen.
Weird little like creatures that are coming out. Do you think you'd have that instinct where if it starts shooting something at you, you just smack a book on it?
Probably.
Going back to seeing aliens, would you also be worried though if you were like actually super turned on by the alien?
It depends, because it depends. like how thick are we talking?
We're talking gleep glorp thick.
Gleep gloop.
Yeah,
Ooh.
she's alive and she wants you to gleep in her glorp.
I've been hearing a lot about intergalactic STDs, so I'd have to be a little careful. But honestly, that's something that I've always. Well, I mean, I'm not going to tell my teachers what do you want to be when you grow up. Like, I want to be working for the army, like reverse engineering spacecrafts and like dissecting aliens. Like,
All right. We can talk after class.
Exactly. And there was one more that I wanted to do. I wanted to be body disposal. So the people who like
crime scene cleanup.
Yes, but not the good kind. I'm talking about like I work for bad people. You know what I mean? So like they need a room. So have you ever seen? So
I
like
feel like for the most part, Alan, you just want to be a supervillain.
Yeah. Exactly. So like Pulp Fiction, I guess, is the best way to describe it. There's like the one guy, the wolf, and they hit him up, and he's in charge of basically cleaning up.
Like in Breaking Bad too.
Yeah, pretty much. So I heard that they make really good money. There was a guy in Mexico that got caught recently for like the dumbest fucking reason, but they found the warehouse full of just these barrels full of decomposing bodies. Not decomposing, but he had like chemicals in there to like break it down, and he's been doing this
Jeffrey
for the
Dahmered
longest. Yeah, and he made good money. He had a pretty good lifestyle, and he made a dumbass mistake, and he got caught. I mean, I'm glad he got caught. Don't get me wrong. But
Don't get me wrong.
There's also like the part of me where like, damn, like that lifestyle must just be crazy, because you're not really like you're not directly involved with like all the messed up things. You're just cleaning up and you're collecting a paycheck, and I don't ask questions.
So you want a lot of jobs where people don't ask questions, or you don't ask questions.
Exactly.
You want to be your own boss.
Hell yeah.
Alan is our entrepreneur of the table. I would also like to work with animals though.
I forgot who put it up on their Snapchat story.
Pro wrestler.
But it was just like a video of a guy at like the penguin thing at Brookfield Zoo. He was just sitting on a rock with a bucket of fish, just handing it out to penguins. That's a cool job.
Yeah.
And there's like the sea otters where like there was this really like I have to find it. I'll probably put it up whenever we talk about the show, like on Instagram, Facebook. But there's this picture of this like really cute Asian girl. She's like booping this sea lion's nose, and he's like he's putting
his head inwards.
Yeah. And it's like the cutest thing ever. I'm like, man, could you imagine just like waking up and like I can't wait to get to work.
Dude, you know what? After this podcast, I'm gonna go ahead and get my zoology degree.
You're gonna fill out your FAFSA?
I'm gonna fill out my FAFSA. Yeah.
Hell yeah. We can go to school together.
Let's go back to school.
The gang goes back to college.
All right. Is there any more for the story?
No, that was pretty much it.
All right.
Can we talk about this peanut butter debacle that we saw on Twitter?
Yeah. Okay. Real quick,
super quick.
Let's close with this peanut butter shit.
Super quick. All right. So this guy has a jar of peanut butter for himself that he and his...
Real quick. Like, the way it started, he asked Reddit, he's like, am I the asshole?
Okay.
So, like, think of that when Jam's explaining the story.
Okay.
So he has this jar of peanut butter that he dipped his wong into because him and his girl like to get freaky.
So, okay. It was for her to get it off.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so he didn't keep the jar of peanut butter in his room because they've been having mice problems at their apartment complex.
Chunky or...
He didn't specify. I'm going to assume smooth, though. Because how do you stick your pee-pee into peanuts?
Yeah, the nuts would be, like, cutting you up too much.
Yeah. All of the roommates in that apartment have their own designated, like, cupboard.
In the fridge?
No, like... We're talking kitchen space. And they usually all, like, label their food. Is that what they said?
Yeah. They label everything because they've had problems before, like, in the previous year. Because they've been living together for 2 years. And they've had problems where, like, people will eat someone's food. And they were like, all right, they all came to an agreement. Everybody's stuff gets labeled.
And everyone has their own space.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no communal, like, this is where we have the bread for everybody. So he didn't want to keep that jar of peanut butter in his room for the mouse problem. So he put it in his space with saying, like, don't touch this. Like, not even him saying like
it was clearly labeled with his
Okay.
name.
yeah, but I don't even think it said like this is my peanut butter. It just literally said like contaminated.
Oh yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so like a warning to not eat this peanut butter.
Okay.
And then like a day later the roommate was like, hey, I had a sandwich, I used your peanut butter that's in the thing. And the whole like debacle went off, and the guy like saw his expression like, what did you do to the peanut butter? Told him the penis story. And now the roommate's mad, saying you shouldn't have never put it there. But it was his space. It was labeled. Didn't want to keep it in the room because of the mice.
Yeah.
So is he the asshole for having it there?
For having his pee-pee peanut butter
Yeah.
in the... No, it's the other one for eating it.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
glad
like
we're all
the
on same
roommate,
page.
the roommate's argument was like, why would you even put that back there? Like that's disgusting. And then
Why are you touching my
and it's
food?
like exactly why are you like? I guess the area where he found the peanut butter was nowhere near this dude's food. So like he went out of his way to go kind of like search for someone else's peanut butter, and it's I don't know.
Yeah, that's his own fault.
Apparently the house is divided like 2 to 3. So like some of them genuinely agree like the peanut butter dude is in the wrong.
I think it's nasty that he even has it. Maybe he should just get the... You know how Smuckers... I think it's Smuckers. They sell these little ones like for individual sandwiches.
Oh.
So if he's going to be putting it on his pee-pee, just use individual
I'm
ones.
sure- I'm
Because
sure
to have a whole jar of it where that's what you're doing to it, that's nasty to hold on to, I think.
I feel like just putting it in there, putting your dick in the jar of peanut butter is kind of like part of the fun though. You know what I mean?
You think so? Are you going to do
think
that when you
so.
get home?
I don't have peanut butter. So.
Damn. Stop by the
And
store.
no one to lick it off. Most importantly.
Exactly, yeah. Like, how am I supposed to get this off?
Good point.
Damn.
All right, well, let us know in the comments of this episode what you think about this whole peanut butter debacle. I think they're both a little bit wrong. The roommate who ate the peanut butter is more wrong, but the other dude should definitely just get like individual ones to do that too.
Nah, man, just don't touch other people's shit.
Yeah, that's too much
it.
effort to like have someone just not touch your shit. Like,
All right.
you know.
True.
Well, in the comments, let us know if you've ever eaten peanut butter off of someone's
Wong.
nutsack.
Chick named Susie.
Chick named Shoozy. All right, but for now, you guys can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at _thesharkboy.
Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at really_cool.
And you can follow me on Instagram, AlanZF1.
All right, and let us know
How
if you
big
guys-
your wong is.
Yeah, let us know how big your wong is, and if you've ever put it somewhere where
It wasn't
you weren't supposed to. With that, leave us a 5-star rating on iTunes, and then let us know. Confuse everyone else who hasn't listened to the episode. They're like 5 stars, and why are they talking about their?
And ladies, let me know how big your boobies are.
And if you've ever had a basement full of blood. This episode's for Daddy. We'll see you guys next
Shout
week
out to Daddy.
at the Spit Bucket.
My heart is as empty as our fish tank.
Ka-chow. See you guys next week.